Hi, I'm Jeanne Schumacher, founder of Simply Plant Based, where I have programs to help you to change your health destiny, including the Plant Based Academy, where I provide help, support, guidance, resources to switch to a plant based lifestyle, as well as the Pregnancy Advantage, where Dr. Deborah Shapiro, who's an OBGYN, she and I help women to get their bodies pregnant ready or to help heal their bodies if dealing with infertility issues. And today I have the privilege of connecting with Dr. Scott Harrington. Dr. Harrington is founder of the Vegan Primary Care and is proud to announce the 6-week vegan health transformation. So, Dr. Harrington, thank you so much for taking the time to be with me here today.
Yay, Jeanne, thanks for having me on. I feel really lucky to be here.
Well, Dr. Scott, tell us a little bit about yourself and your plant-based journey.
Great, great. Yeah, I'm always telling my patients, where I started, my training was in the military. I went to West Point, I joined the Army, and they sent me to medical school. And I was always working with my patients and soldiers and soldiers' families. And many of them would have problems with weight. And I was always telling them, oh, you just have to lose weight. Oh, you just eat small portions and you exercise a lot. No problem, right? Well, when I became about 35, I had gained a couple of pounds per year on the standard American diet that I thought was healthy. And now I needed to lose weight. So I decided to take my own advice and try to do portion controlled diets and exercise a lot. Well, you know what happened. Basically, I couldn't lose any weight. I felt really hungry. I felt like it was a mountain I could never climb. And I got depressed. I felt like a bad doctor. And so, just like I think you mentioned before, like sometimes people make change once they kind of hit like a dark spot. And someone told me, actually, it was a special forces person. They were like, hey, have you heard about the plant-based diet and this movie Forks Over Knives? And so I was on a plane and I watched Forks Over Knives. And by the time I landed, that was it. I was vegan. I was convinced. I had saw Dr. Furman taking people off all their pills. And I was just, I knew that was what I wanted to do. So I switched right then to a plant-based diet. I lost my 15 to 20 pounds that I needed to lose, and my health got, every aspect of my health improved. And that's how I started. That was 2012. And since then, I've been trying to sing it from the mountaintops. And finally, I started my own practice, Vegan Primary Care, so I could just reach out to vegans and support them, be their health advocate. And so now I have this practice in 22 states, and I can reach out to people all over the country and be their primary care doctor.
That's awesome. I love hearing that when people finally get to the point where they realize about a whole food plant-based diet and what it can do for you. It's incredible. So your program combines a lot of things, recipes, exercise, and of course, changing habits. What's the main idea behind how your program helps people to get healthier and lose weight with a vegan diet?
So many patients have a hard time if they're not into a program. And so that's what the main tenet of this program is: accountability, where I decided to create a program where I can meet with people daily for a check-in. And participants will have like a checklist of things that they've done, a food log. And one of the other things that's great about this program is the idea of glucose monitoring. So you can slap on a glucose monitor and you can see how your blood sugar changes with the various foods that you eat, in a way to encourage people to eat unprocessed foods. That the main point of the program is accountability and sticking to the plan, because consistency is kind of the name of the game.
Oh, you are spot on for sure. And being that consistency it's mission critical. And if you do fall off the wagon, you got to learn to love yourself and get right back on and just keep going. But having that accountability, that's awesome. That is really great. Well, a lot of people use the word vegan and plant-based. I mean, they're becoming very, very out in the public media right now. Well, in your program, is there any difference between the vegan and plant-based?
Well, I'm not the vegan police, so to speak. I consider myself vegan, one, to help reduce and end animal suffering and to help with the environment. The environmental impact of our food is a big deal. And so, with the health aspects of the plant-based diet, and all these, just the morality of the diet and the health of the diet, it all lines up perfectly. And so I feel really good about that. I feel really good about calling myself vegan, but I'm not the vegan police. But of course, I recommend the whole food plant-based diet. That's the essential tenet of the weight loss program, because that's how you lose weight, sustainably. Whole plant foods are very filling, and they're bulky and low calorie dense. It is a central tenet.
True, but there is that, Coca-Cola, potato chips, French fries, those are all vegan. Oreos, Oreo cookies, they're all vegan. But I think you and I can both agree that those aren't health promoting.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Yes, I would agree with that 100%.
Well, obviously, eating the right food is obviously super important, critically. So, how do you make sure everybody gets tasty vegan meals that also help with losing weight?
That's a great question. First of all, plants can kind of speak for themselves because they are so delicious. Once you start to wean yourself off of the highly processed, the salty and sweet foods, what tastes better than a ripe peach, for instance? One of the great aspects of this program is the dietary culinary education that we're going to get. Vicki Brett Gach is going to be our cooking demo expert. And so she'll be meeting with us once a week on the 6-week program, going over vegan tips and, plant-based cooking tips to help you through and help you make, meal prep tips so that you can have food ready throughout the week. And so it'll get you through.
Excellent. Oh, I love seeing other people cook and learning tips and tricks, because people think it's just going to be super easy to go, yeah, I'm going plant-based, I'm going to eat some plants. There's a lot to learn. There's a lot to learn. So, changing those habits that we've been kind of ingrained our whole life with, it can be tough. So, what does your program do to help people to stop emotional eating and keep up good habits for a long time?
Person who's going to be our psychologist, who's going to talk about food addiction and cravings and this kind of thing, the emotional aspect of eating. Because there's overlapping medical problems like binge eating disorder and food addictions and this kind of thing. So we are going to have experts with this. But I think the one strong aspect of this is the community, where the members can describe the problems they have and kind of share, and you see how other people improve and make it through. We talk about saboteurs amongst you, like family members or friends who are, oh, this vegan diet, or where do you get your protein? And talk about tips and tricks to kind of handle this kind of thing, and to get people on board and to ask them to support you. So that's a huge aspect of it.
Awesome. Because there are a lot of saboteurs out there, and I know that. Yeah. So that's important to learn how to be able to deal with that. So that's great. One other aspect, especially for people that are dealing with diabetes, is to keep an eye on blood sugar, with these glucose monitors. And how does that help people follow the plan?
Well, it's been exciting as a doctor to be able to try these glucose monitors, because I don't have diabetes, but I've been able to use these samples provided by the various glucometer companies, and it's really enlightening, because you'll see when you wear these devices, you can see your blood sugar go up, and depending on the more processed food that you eat, it can shoot straight up and stay up for a long time, especially if you're eating a more of a fatty meal. It will stay up even longer. One of the sort of the superfoods that keep your blood sugar spike is really short and low are beans and greens. Beans and greens. If you eat those and you have this monitor on, you'll see the sugar spikes stay really low and come back down to normal really quickly. Another thing that you'll notice with these devices is that late night eating, they call it the chronobiology, the circadian rhythm has a big effect. And so whereas if your glucose spike is, say, this high in the morning, that same meal at night takes it higher and wider and longer. And so as the goal is for you to keep your blood sugar down at the baseline as long as possible, and it helps you lose weight at a faster rate.
I knew eating before bed was not good, but I didn't realize, about the circadian rhythm and the impact on that. So, wow. These are new technologies and great to help people support them.
Yeah.
Does your program have a community support to provide different perspectives for weight loss?
Yeah, so you've heard of some programs will have like a Facebook group or this or that, but this one we're going to use something called Mighty Networks. So it'll be enclosed in this separate community where there's a forum, and there'll be an explainer videos, and there'll be a recipe list, as well as supportive materials. And so it's a place where we'll have an active forum with moderators answering questions and stuff like that, sort of in real time, so that you can share trials and tribulations and get support when you need.
What happens after the challenge ends? Is there any support that these people can expect?
Educational library will be accessible by them for a year afterwards, and then we have a 3, 6, and 9 month follow-up. I'll also be meeting with the participants during the 6 weeks. And then we plan to have a follow-up meeting, at the 3, 6, 9 month mark. So, and that's just sometimes having that little milestone, knowing that you're going to be meeting with the doctor, it kind of like, well, I got to keep this going so that, you don't fall off the bandwagon, I guess you could say.
Oh, that's excellent. That is awesome. And I like hearing that, that you have that, knowing that there's going to be something down the road. I'm going to be checking on you.
Right.
That's great. So where can people find out about this program and, find out more information if they'd like to join?
Absolutely. So at my website, Vegan Primary Care, you just go to Vegan Primary Care Weight Loss. You can sign up there. You can learn all about the program, and you can learn all about the experts. I did want to highlight that we're having a fitness trainer, Angela Fischetti. She has some notoriety because of her work with older patients, and she has improved her osteoporosis significantly with exercise, and she's got a ton of energy. And so we'll be meeting with her once a week to get us moving, because exercise is a huge tenet in weight loss and feeling better. And so I just wanted to highlight her as well.
Oh, she's amazing. And if anybody wants to follow up on, I did an interview with her. She is incredible.
Oh yeah.
She's, for her age, she is just like Gumby. I mean, she's just so amazing. She's so flexible, and it's just like like I want to be her when I grow up. So,
right.
She's amazing. Well, Dr. Scott, good luck on your program, and thank you so much for taking the time to share with us about your program.
I appreciate it, Jeanne. Thanks for having me on. It's always an honor to be here. I look forward to having some participants come to our program. So if you're living in one of the 22 states that I have a license, just go to my website and check it out, because I can also provide primary care for you as well. And so it's always a good time for me to get the word out there for potential patients too. I really appreciate it.
Excellent.